you have to get ahead of them by – you got to get ahead of them by a little bit.
Oh, boy. You know what? I didn't realize we could – look how fired up this guy is. Oh, my God. Jonathan Gannon's here. Just walking up. His high fives everywhere. All right, get in here. All right. So all right, Mitch, we are instituting the plan where we're just throwing all caution to the wind and to heck with commercial breaks because Jonathan Gannon came up and scared the hell out of you when you came around the corner.
I'm excited. Let's go, man.
Good to see you.
You too.
How are you doing?
You too. Awesome, Burnsy. Doing good.
Camp's good?
Yeah, awesome. Yep.
We were just talking about
every day we're on it.
We were just talking about the 5 buckets earlier.
Boy.
Well, what would be the best bucket for us to get ready for our show every day? What do you think?
Health.
Just health.
Not sleep, hydration, nutrition.
Hydration. Okay. You don't want to be tired yawning on the air, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you got to get your
brain's
health.
got to be
you gotta
thinking, man.
Functioning all the time.
Yeah.
Got to talk for 4 straight hours.
Yeah.
How many hours sleep you get a night?
It depends. I get
How many
enough.
hours do you want to get?
Maybe
Maybe I should
I would love to get 8.
Okay.
I would love to get 8.
You get 5?
A little more.
A little more than 5?
Yeah.
Does your brain race when you go to sleep at night? Like thinking about all these different things?
Sometimes, but I got techniques that I use to not let it race.
Okay. All right. That's like what? Give me an example. Melatonin?
No. You don't want to be dependent on sleep aids now. And if you take a sleep aid, you don't get into deep sleep. That's what the research shows.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just dropping
I don't
knowledge on
listen.
you guys.
No, this is fantastic.
My daughter's a doctor. I don't take anything.
All right, so here's a couple tools, you guys.
Here's
Here's a couple tools because you got to get up and do a show, right?
Yeah.
If your mind's racing, write down what's in your head. So you should let it. That should pass if you write it down. All right, here's tomorrow what I got to do. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Blah, blah, blah. Write that down.
Yeah, because
breathing exercises.
Okay.
Breathing exercises should slow your heart rate down.
Any like music or anything?
Some people believe in like brown and white noise. Yeah, I don't, but some people do. A little bit of gratitude might help you.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Turn
off your phone, stop reading. Blue light kills you.
Yeah, that stuff's still good for you, right?
Yeah.
No, can't have that by the phone.
There's all kinds of different techniques. You can do something.
Do you meditate? Do you do a little?
A touch. I'm not. I'll breathe. I'll write down stuff and I'll try to breathe.
Okay. You were saying 20 years in the making to come up with these 5 buckets that you believe in. You know?
I do. Yeah, I do.
And over 20 years, was it like? Did you know 20 years ago he has the 5 things that matter?
No, it's just certain things that hit your brain. It's like, why don't we have these things? Why don't we talk about these things? Why don't we have a plan for the players? Why don't we hire people for these things, the expert in those roles? And I've worked for some great guys. I'm not saying that. It's just, when I got here, it was like, all right, what do we believe in as myself and as a staff for the players? And, we kind of can't – it was already kind of come up with, but like – as you start going and thinking and talking about it, but I'm just glad that we got to put it in place and our players buy into it because they know it's the best thing for them, and we got experts in those fields to help them with it.
All right, take us through. What did you do this summer? Did you get away at all? Did you do anything fun and exciting?
Yeah, I got away a little bit. I got to go to Sedona with the crew, with the whole family. It was first time there. It was beautiful.
Beautiful, right?
Holy cow.
Did you hike?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we
that's
did.
nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Walk around like, wow, look at that.
And then we went back to Ohio to see family and friends. Took everybody, and then Gina and I escaped to New York.
You did?
For a couple days.
What part?
We were right in Manhattan.
Right in Manhattan?
Go
see a play?
But no, we just kind of shopped and ate and exercised and had a good time. Had a good time. Ate some good Italian.
Yeah, always
ate some good Italian. Shout out to Don Angie, unreal.
Don Angie.
Teresi, unreal. Yeah. And our third night we went to Carbone.
I like Carmine's.
Carmine's is good.
Really good.
Carmine's
really good.
Is good.
I did like 8 days in Norway.
Oh.
And then I did like 5 or 6 in Switzerland.
Oh, he's our international traveler.
I'm the international traveler, man.
He's
I go to Italy every year.
Good for you.
Yeah, last year we did Ireland, Switzerland, and in Italy. So I got married in Italy.
Yeah.
So we go to Italy quite a bit.
Yeah.
But this year we wanted to go to Norway. And then I'm reading this thing on like Froholt. Like he's like a Viking from Denmark.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, I knew
Yeah,
that.
I was in like a real Viking village, and they got us like throwing axe.
Oh, yeah.
So in Norway, I was in Bergen, Norway. We went to this real Viking village. We like shoot bows and arrows and act like it's a real Viking village. Like people live there and everything. It's like this was so cool. And then he took us on a boat through the fjords. This is
Wow.
where Ragnar Lothbrok lived. I'm like, seriously? Like, you guys live right there? Didn't look like very much, but I'm like,
That's
so
cool.
So I was kind of, because I like the Viking shows on Netflix, like
Yeah.
the Vikings Valhalla and Vikings. I kind of like that stuff. So then when I saw that in Froholt, I said it to Burnsy today. I go, we got to get this guy on.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'm going to talk to Mark Dalton about it. I'm going to get Dalton
He's
to help us.
Froholt is a great one to talk to now. He's a character now.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Wasn't he the one you were saying the other day, like, he's all into the violent MMA stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'd rather just watch the Olympics?
Yeah, he's into all that. He's got some barbaric things to his game and his personality that you guys would like.
Yeah. All right, so I don't want to, because I know the 5 buckets thing, you've talked about that a lot, but I think you've addressed this, but I want to ask you again. At what point in your life were you preparing to be a head coach in the National Football League?
I think, it was because a lot of guys, it's not they don't want to be head coaches. Ever since I got into the business, I kind of wanted to be a head coach. So I wouldn't say any one year or the other. I think it's just listening and learning and writing things down. And then in your free time, as you keep going through the business, like summer's a good time to reflect on, all right, here was a decision that was made. What would I have done? How could I have made that? And you're just starting to put your ideology together. But I think I was spending a little time on it. I always thought, be the best at what you do in the role that you have. And then in your free time, put yourselves in the next guy's shoes and the next guy's shoes and the next guy's shoes. And then I've been around great mentors, great head coaches, great coordinators, great position coaches when I was coming up through the business. I would just ask.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, hey, man, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? And then you just kind of write it down. I'm not smart enough to remember it, but I would write it down, kind of put it in the back of your mind, and it's cool to see it come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I make a bunch of mistakes every day, but we're running the Arizona Cardinals right now. I think the people in place are here. And it's running how I always kind of envisioned it to run.
And that's what strikes me about you is that you very much, and I'm sure a lot of head coaches are like this, but you very much come across as somebody who I've literally been preparing my whole life for this moment. I know exactly what I want to do, but also smart enough to know that you kind of have to adapt or die a little bit and evolve and change. Go, okay, that didn't work. Let's toss it out. Let's do this instead. You just strike me as somebody who's been preparing your whole life for this moment.
I think the major key to that is once you kind of see it, like last year's training camp, I thought it was the best thing that I've ever seen, that we all put it together. We changed a lot this year because it was like, okay, let's evaluate. Where we were last year? What kind of happened? What did we do? All right, we need to put a little time here. We need to take a little time off here. We need to accelerate this program for the guys. So I think you said it, Burnsy, is you got to be willing to adapt and learn and grow. Just like we ask the players, it's the same thing with the coaches. I think if you're not growing and learning and becoming better, what are you really doing?
Yeah. I'm going to ask you this because in your evaluation process of bringing on players, I want to ask, how high of a percentage do you give to high character play? We had Mac Wilson on, Sean Murphy Bunting, Trey Benson, Trey McBride, Zay Jones,
all good guys, aren't they?
Incredible. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
You don't want to miss that because the players are all hitting it.
Yeah, no kidding.
We get done with these interviews just blown away by how
at the
great.
Yes.
Blown away.
Yeah, I think.
And I've been here for a long time. That's not always the case.
Yeah, I would say it's a credit to Monty, his staff, because you're not going to swing and hit home runs every time you bring a player on board. But himself and me, we're very convicted. It's a big percentage. It's a very big percentage. Mm-hmm. And here's why. Because the more guys you have, like the guys you just named and all the other guys, you don't have to deal with distractions that are outside the building or sometimes even inside the building. You can just get to football and development and serving the players.
You don't have to worry
So it's
about it.
because, when those guys are all in on ball and they're team-first guys and they got good character, normally it goes hand in hand. I think that's the way that those guys, whatever their ceiling is, those guys have the best chance to hit it.
Right.
And then with saying that, if those guys are all hitting their ceilings, I think that's how you build a consistent winner. Because you can win with maybe not so good guys, maybe, 5 games, 8-game run, or maybe 1 year. But it's just hard. From my experience, it's hard to sustain a winner when you don't have the guys that you just named. So that's why we're all about it.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo Show. If you had regular season week 1, game 1 right now, do you know exactly who your starters would be? And if not, how many of those positions are still debatable?
Monty and I were just talking about it during stretch. Like, he went through an exercise. He's like, there's a lot of competition still that I can't pencil in guys right now. And I probably feel the same way. Now, obviously, we'd have to make a decision and go. You go with your gut. But we need this next month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks to evaluate that and put out the best guys within their role, what that looks like, to beat Buffalo.
All right, I'm going to go a little detailed here. Kansas City probably runs more press coverage than anybody in the NFL.
They're probably
with their
up
corners.
there. Yeah, they're probably up there.
With you being so young at corner with all these young guys, can you afford to do that?
Yeah. I think
you go press coverage a lot?
I mean, we have a lot of different coverage structures, but I always think if it fits in the game plan and your guys and who they got and how they like to play on offense, I actually think you cover better from tighter. I think off coverage is, people talk about press and off this and that. I feel like it's harder to cover from off a lot, and that's why you see all the condensation from offenses, because I think they know that too. But, I think you have to have the ability to do both. But if you can get up and align nose to nose and deny the ball, it's a good way to play.
I'll go to the other side because I really like all the motion Miami has in their offense.
Yeah.
With all the weapons that you have now that you didn't have last year, how much can that be an advantage for you?
Yeah, I think as you guys watch, you see some of it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We're kind of – there's a little bit of trial and error. There's a couple things that I know Drew wanted to do last year in the middle of the year and didn't feel comfortable because we didn't practice it enough. So that's what camp's a little bit about. Let's see what our guys can handle, what they can do, what we're good at, if it fits them, if it doesn't. But there's a lot of – you can't just say, well, we want to motion more and we want to use these motions. Like, how does it fit the play types, the personnel groupings for that guy, for the quarterback? So it's kind of a blend of all of that, but we're kind of figuring that out as we go. But I think that we have the personnel both by different position groups and skill sets from those position groups where, some of that stuff's hard on a defense. So we want to try to stress out a defense. Let's use it.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo Show. We've only got about a minute or so left with him. Gambo,
you guys are already kicking me
out.
I couldn't get on the freaking show, and now you guys are kicking me out.
I'm told you've got a boss waiting for you.
That is true.
Hey, are we not playing music this year?
I was waiting for you to ask that. Tomorrow we'll be blasting. I'll play your song.
I have a song for you.
A new song.
Yeah, Mitch, you ready?
Here you go.
Know this one?
That's why I just looked at Burns and like, what the heck is this? What is it? Let me hear it. Turn it up.
Nonsense. Mark Dalton knows it is. Give me the headphones, Burnsy.
Who is it?
Come on, Mark.
Mark. This guy's like Sunday. Come on, Mark.
I think Rush is good. It's Rush.
It's Rush?
Limelight by Rush.
Limelight by
Rush, man. It
Limelight
is
by
Rush. It'll fire these guys up.
Live radio's
It'll
the best,
fire.
isn't it?
Dalton, you didn't know that? He said Rush. He knew Rush.
Oh, you knew Rush. He knew it was
Rush.
Rush. Okay.
Honestly, I knew that
Limelight.
was a band. That would have never came into my head.
Classic.
All right.
Great.
Give me good
Pump
classics.
you up
Last
song
year,
right there.
They were juiced when they heard your song.
All right, I'm going to ask this for Burnsy because I know we're running out of time. He asked you today about the quarterback composition at backup. You guys made the trade for Ritter. You traded Ryan Dillmore to get Ritter. You mentioned Clayton's playing a lot faster.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, Clayton was the guy you drafted. He's not a guy from the old regime.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, you have any problem, moving on from the guy that you traded for?
No.
Is it really the best guy?
Oh, 1,000%. It's for all the positions, it's the best guy. 100%. Because Monty and I are convicted, the staff's convicted. That's you got to do what's best for the team. That's what wins. I honestly could give a what about where a guy's drafted, how much money a guy's making, where he came from, where he started from. I want the best 53 out there and the best practice squads guys out there. Whoever that is, so be it.
All right, we truly are not kicking you out. We're just trying to respect
I want
the
to talk
process.
about attacking nickel coverage. There's a lot of things that I want to get into, too.
Fast motions.
Yeah, but those nickel coverage, what are we seeing, 65% of teams in nickel?
Talk to Nick. I always want to play more nickel, and he never wants to play it. I'm like, why don't we get it
can we
nickel?
run 11 personnel
Why don't we get
against the
it?
nickel? It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
successful.
Wow, Gambo's really
Well,
you're really
yeah.
getting under the
Some
hood.
I
X's
thought
and
you
O's
wanted to
on.
go big versus nickel. You want to go 12 and 13 versus
No, I thought
nickel.
I think 11 personnel is having a lot of success.
Gamble.
One back, one tight end, 3 wideouts against the nickel. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, I'll take things I didn't expect us to talk about for 500.
I'd rather
Here's
just
the
show,
thing.
I'd rather
Here's
just
the
show my
thing.
Viking
Whoa,
village. Look,
thing-
here's my
whoa.
Viking village right here.
Gambo, you got to
How cool is
understand when they
that?
put out 11, that's what a defense is typically going to put out is nickel.
Right, I know.
So what
but
do you- what do
like
you
run
want
the
from
ball
me?
more against
And
them.
now Gambo's showing Jonathan Gannon pictures from his
Yeah,
vacation.
I'm seeing
You're
Denmark
all
right
over the
now.
place
I'm
now.
seeing
You're
That's a
all over the
Viking,
place.
look a
Looks
real
awesome.
Viking
All right.
village.
Looks
How cool
awesome.
is that?
This is a mercy end of the interview now. You have a bus to catch. You
I do.
really should go catch
I'm
it
either
before this
walking
gets
back
bad.
to the hotel or I got to get on
Yeah,
the bus.
so
and
you
they
go.
ain't waiting for me.
You
That's
go.
right, because everybody
Somebody
walks
says,
right by your office.
Somebody says, JG, you're the head coach, just tell them to wait. I said, this bus ain't waiting for nobody. Like, if you're not on it, then you're walking.
I think we learned that from you last year.
Yeah.
I think so too. Get out of here.
Thank
Coach,
you, Burns.
good to see you.
Appreciate you guys.
Good to
Love
see you
you,
again.
Gambo.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest on the Burns and Gambo show. That was fun.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.